Right, everybody, welcome back to the 1% podcast. And this one is really big for me because the man I'm speaking to is probably the first person I followed ever in fitness, in a sense. So, Josef, Rakich, thank you for joining me, bud. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you very much for having me. It's good to hear that, I was one of the first people because I've been at this a long time.
Yeah, honestly,
Putting up
I
content on every platform and just
I
going for it.
honestly no, I honestly remember I must mate, it's gotta be I must have been like 19 or 20. So that's
Hmm.
7, 8 years ago now. And I
Yeah,
think it
yeah.
was Facebook, to be honest. I don't know why. I think it was Facebook, and I think that's when YouTube was kind of getting big, maybe like 7, 8 years ago,
Mm.
sort of thing. And I definitely saw a lot of it was like expo stuff when expos were really big because you did, I think it was it EHP, and I maybe there was
Yep.
some another company. I don't know if there was a couple of other brands that you worked with at a time period.
Yeah. No, I was just EHP. I was sponsored by.
Yeah.
Done many different expos with them all around the world, Australia, UK, Vegas. So did a lot of traveling with them.
Yeah, no,
Those
honestly.
were good days, man.
What was so I guess what I want to do with these podcasts is obviously kind of backtrack as well. But for anyone that doesn't know you, I don't know, like if someone just walked up to you randomly in the street and say, "Hey, what do you do for a job? Like, what do you do?"
That's a hard one because normally I give a different answer every time because I do so many things. But for the most part, I think the most common answer that I do give is an online trainer. Um, it's usually kind of the easiest way to explain what I do, really, without getting into all the details of everything else. So I'm going to say online trainer, online coach.
Yeah, that's pretty easy. I think about like you say with
Yeah.
yours, it's like you could say so many words. You could be like content creator and things like that. But then I think you just get more questions if you didn't want to talk to the person.
Yeah. And then I've got multiple different companies as well, like the software company. I just there's many different things under the umbrella. But yeah, I guess on the day to day, the most common thing would be an online trainer.
Nice, man. So going back to, I don't know, let's go early high school. So what's that like
Yep.
11, 12 sort of years old? What was
Yep.
what was life like for you? What was your family life like? What was growing up in because are you Auckland? Is it Auckland? Or
Yep.
yeah.
Auckland.
What was
Yep.
life like for baby Joseph? Like at 11,
Yeah.
12
Like
years old.
I had a lot of friends. I was always outside playing sport, skateboarding. I was really big into my soccer, always active. Like you couldn't find me without grazes on my elbows or my knees. That's just who I was as a kid. I didn't do too well at school. Well, I actually did terrible at school. I failed school. I wasn't just it didn't amuse me. I wasn't interested in the subjects that they were teaching, and because it's not interesting or amusing to me, it's hard for me to learn and I guess take in the information. So failed, dropped out of school, kind of had no direction in my life, what I wanted to do, who I wanted to be. I was kind of, I guess, a little bit lost for quite a while. I went and worked for my dad. He owned a food distributing business at the time, and I was packing food orders in a negative 18 degrees freezer. It was the worst job you could ever imagine. Literally working in a freezer the entire day.
Jesus.
So many jackets, so many beanies, so many gloves. It was bad. Um, did some delivery driving as well, delivering the food to restaurants and stuff. But I was just lost. All I was living for was the weekends, catching up with my mates, going out, drinking, partying, that kind of stuff. But the gym was my passion, and I enjoyed the gym. It's basically all I look forward to, just training, following my diet, seeing my body progress. So that is when I decided, okay, I need to do something with my life. I'm gonna go down the personal trainer route. Did that, studied to become a personal trainer, got my qualifications. But at the same time I was doing that, I was also posting my stuff online. People started asking me online for help with meal plans, workout programs. I started helping them. I then got qualified, became a personal trainer in the gym, was doing that, but at the same time, the online stuff was getting busier and busier. Fast forward many years, and it got to the point where the online stuff was so taking up so much of my time, I couldn't do the in-gym personal training stuff anymore.
Yeah.
That's when I knew it had potential, and that's when I knew I could really do something with this. So I just fully put 100% into the online stuff, and then many years later, here I am now.
Amazing, man. I guess when you felt that kind of lost period in your life, how old were you? Like roughly?
Um, I'm not really good of ages, but I would say from the start of high school, probably up until maybe 20, maybe even 21,
Yeah.
maybe even 21. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
was just like, I didn't know what I wanted to do.
what was that first moment? Obviously, like how did you get into the gym? Because obviously you discovered the gym throughout that kind of time period, and that's the only bit you love. When did you first kind of start training and things like that?
Yeah. So it was a little bit of a weird story. So funny enough, I've always loved sport. Like I've loved sport my whole entire life. Cross country, love it. Soccer, love it. Anything physical, I loved. But funnily enough, whenever we had the weights room at school, I always,
Yeah.
forgot my gym clothes that day. Because I was a skinny kid in class. I couldn't move any weights. I was just a little weakling. But my mum won a free gym trial and she didn't want it. So she gave it to me. And me and my mate went along to the gym. We didn't know what we were doing. We basically just used it as a hangout spot. But as we're hanging out there, we're obviously just mucking around, doing stuff. Um, Even though we didn't know what we were doing, because we were such beginners, we were kind of noticing our physique change.
Yeah.
All we were training was chest and biceps.
I feel like that's every guy from like 16 to 21. What do you do? I just did loads of push-ups and loads of curls.
Yeah. Like no point of training your back. You can't see that.
No, of course not.
Why am I going to train my legs? Like the thought process was so stupid. Um, and yeah, once I started noticing, like a little bicep definition or a little bit of shoulders, that's when like the thing switched to my head. And I'm like, I can see my physique change. So that's when I realized, okay, I need to find out how to train the proper workout program, and I need to find out what to eat. I literally remember finding out protein is how you gain muscle. And I literally remember me thinking, what food has protein in it? I had no idea.
Yeah.
But now if someone asked me that, I would be like, are you serious?
Yeah. But
And
that's
that
what
was me
like,
at one point.
no, but then generally like always people go like, I don't know. I think nowadays, like sometimes you just think like you learn by just fucking trying. No one wants to try nowadays. I feel no one wants to just like you say, like when you're young, like you just go in, like even if you're like now, you're 25, just go into the gym and move. Like straight away, you're still a newbie, you're still gonna feel these things. Like there's kind of no, I don't know if you see it from your side of things, especially like we say, like social media and things like that, but like people just don't try nowadays. Do you know what I mean? Like people just
Yeah.
don't implement and give things a go and like just fuck around because we've learned everything from just fucking up.
Yeah, exactly. And you eventually learn the right way, and you eventually learn by just trying and giving it a go.
Yeah, 100%. And what? So obviously you did that, and then you got into PT and things like that. When was the moment? Obviously, where were you PTing? Were you at a kind of like hometown still, stuff like that?
Yeah, it was a hometown. It was a gym pretty close to my house. It was the gym that I used to train at.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, I started PTing there as a trainer, and I built a good relationship with the owner of the gym. So yeah, he allowed me to be a personal trainer there once I got my qualifications and everything.
nice. Do you still train there, the same gym, if you go back, or somewhere else?
Yes, I do, but it's not the same gym anymore. So
Okay.
it was a gym called Club Physical,
Yeah.
but that got taken down and a new gym got set
Oh,
up, which
okay.
was called City Fitness. But there was about 8 years in between where I was at a different gym.
Oh, fair enough.
Um, but that is my gym now that if I was back in New Zealand, I would be going to.
Oh, awesome. So you took things, so obviously you took that moment where you just took the leap online, right? Things were getting busy, stuff like that on the gym floor. You took that leap online. What was like, because obviously a lot of people that are probably going to watch this podcast are probably more like they'll be fitness coaches and things like that. Like, what was that moment where you're like, fuck, I'm taking things online because they're at big scale? And what were kind of the first kind of things you did to, what was your day to day then, if that makes sense, when you did that transition?
Yep. So my day today was basically writing the meal plans, creating the workout programs, and then replying back to these clients with any questions or issues or problems that they had. So I was, I guess, a full-on coach, you know, with every single client I had. But it got to the point where it was just getting so busy and so hard for me to handle and stay on top of that while working at the gym. So I was at the gym 5 days a week or 6 days a week. I then went down to 3 days and then 2 days and then 1 day. And then I just thought I have to completely go online and just make that transition. When I did that, I understood if I want to really grow and really scale this business, I need to figure out, one, how to get more clients. But then if I did that, that's going to be a massive problem because I already couldn't handle the workload. And then two, how to be able to automate the system to allow me to handle these clients so I could focus on working on the business instead of working in the business. And once I found the solution for that, that is when I literally 100x'd my business.
Because I guess over that time period as well, like, number one, like, you're training yourself. So you're developing your own physique, which is 2 hours a day. And then also, I think, like, you obviously signed a contract with EHP and you traveled the world. So you're traveling the world trying to run your own business as well at the same. So when you, I guess, early days when, because obviously people are going to, like, I probably, like, the first time I saw you or thought of you, it's like that influencer, fitness influencer in a sense, but no one ever knew that, oh, he actually does. So when you were kind of doing the EHP, kind of being that influencer, were you coaching at the same point as well? You guess
Yep, I was. And for some of that, but at that same time was when I was in the process of getting some software developed so that I could automate my entire business to handle unlimited number of clients, yet still have every single meal plan and every single workout program 100% personalized to that client and their goals and what they're trying to achieve, exactly from my rules and my beliefs. So long story short, I went to a web development company and I told them the idea that I wanted. I said, this is my rules. This is what I believe in. When someone gets a meal plan, they need this much protein on their body weight. They need this much fat on their body weight. The style of workouts is this. This is the rep range I like, but then each month it adjusts. So I've got all of these rules and I wanted to put it in some software so the software could create meal plans and workout programs for me exactly as if I was to manually do it, just without me manually doing it. So we created an app that was called JRF, Josef Rakich Fitness, and that then I could take on any number of clients. So what I did, I lowered my price point so I could bring on more clients. And because I lowered my price point, that allowed me to obviously increase my conversion rate. And then my goal was to just provide them as much value and as much tools and everything that they need to still achieve the results exactly as if I was personally coaching them. And because I could do that, I could probably do it better than if I was manually doing it myself. Because I could automate that whole process and take my manual work out of it, it then allowed me to focus on other things and actually growing my business rather than working in my business. So that is when I started really going in on social media. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok came along, all these other platforms. And I'm just out there creating content, providing value to try and gain exposure, gain more eyeballs, and then eventually help more people worldwide. So that was the kind of thought process around that. To date, we've helped over 180,000 people through my fitness app, and that would be impossible to do if I was manually doing every single one of them.
How long's the app been live for?
Like I said, I'm really bad on time frames, but I would say it must be live for has to be at least 7 or 8 years.
Holy shit, 180,000 people. That's a lot in that. That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Jesus. Damn.
And right now we average about 50 to 60 new clients per day. The transformations that we are getting are phenomenal, like unreal results. They're getting everything they need. They get their meal plan, all the calories, all the macros are there. It's based around the foods that they love and they like. They can track their water. Girls, if they want, they can track their periods. We've got so many different features. You can track your weight you lift in the gym. Every week you can put your weight in and it gives you a graph of how you're progressing. We've even got options so people can eat out. So say, for example, they've got 6 meals per day, and their last meal, they want to go out with friends and they're going to McDonald's. They've got 700 calories left. You can literally, on my app, select the restaurant you're going to, McDonald's, and then it'll give you every single option that you can have that'll fit within your calories that are left for that day.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I can have a Big Mac and I can have a medium fries and I can have a Coke Zero.
Yeah.
Enter it in the app and it's done.
All done.
And that helps so much with client adherence because they don't have to have a cheat meal. It's just a meal that's still in line with their calories.
Just swapped it out. Yeah.
So we have done everything. And because we've done that, it's allowed us to help so many people because it makes it so easy for them to stick to a meal plan and stick to a workout program. Yeah. And it's based around the food that they love and that they enjoy. If they don't like salmon, they won't get salmon in their meal plan.
Yeah. I guess with that, over that time period of kind of, I guess, building an app system and kind of building, what were the biggest moments for you? Like, fuck, like I've hit a wall, I've hit a bit of like, not rock bottom, but you've hit hard times. What sort of did that, I guess, what was kind of the hardest moment in that whole process to building up to where you now, if there's a few moments in your kind of time period?
Yeah, there's been lots of, I guess there's been lots of moments. So obviously I thought, I didn't realize how expensive building an app would be.
Yeah.
I thought it's going to be like 20 grand, 30 grand. And then I put down like 60 grand at once. And then many years later, we've put down over $2 million to build and develop this app.
Yeah.
So because we've got so many features and we've developed it in so many different ways and we've added so many things, but because we did that and because we put so much money into the app, we have an app that is uncomparable to anyone else in the market. So now me and I got 2 business partners, we created another company called Macroactive, which is essentially the software and the platform behind my app. And we are now white labeling that and helping other online trainers grow and scale their business with their own app, their design, their logo, the way they want their app to look, the rules that they believe in when it comes to diet and nutrition. So if someone signs up to me, they'll get a meal plan as I was to manually create it. If someone signs up to Bob, they'll get a meal plan and workout program exactly depending on what his rules and beliefs are. Yeah. So we've helped over 700 trainers at Macroactive. We've got 700,000 end users and we've done 100 million in trainer revenue. So the online space is massive. And it just goes to show you how many people are out there needing help with meal plans and workout programs. And we've pretty much automated that entire process, yet still keep it personalized. So the clients still get the results that they want. And at the end of the day, that's what they care about.
Amazing, man. I guess this is quite a nice transition as well. Because obviously a lot of this, for me, obviously training nutrition is cool and things like that. But obviously now we live in this world where everyone kind of wants to run their own business and all this sort of stuff. So I guess, so you obviously have JRF and you have Macroactive. Are you invested? Are you part owner in anything else? Or is there any plans to do anything else as well?
Yeah, so JRF, which is my fitness app, I'm 100% owner of that. Macroactive, me and my two business partners, so there's three of us that own that. I've got my supplement business, JRF Supplements.
Okay,
I've got my
cool.
clothing business, JRF Clothing. I've got another website called iifym.com that
Okay.
me and my two business partners purchased. That gets 6,500 unique visits
Fuck.
from Google per day of people looking for a meal plan. So we've plugged that business into the Macroactive software. Aside from that, I have my wealth network, which is where I teach people how to grow and scale a business online, just from what I've learned. Investments is crypto and property and land back in New Zealand.
Nice. Which one's the fucking hardest? Which one's had the most ball ache?
Josef Rakich Fitness is where I spend most of my time and my energy and my effort.
Yeah.
Macroactive is definitely the biggest company. Our goal is to, build a $500 million company, maybe even $1 billion company. And then the fitness, the supplements and the clothing is kind of an umbrella under the fitness business. So they're all kind of in one. The wealth network is what I'm having the most fun with at the moment. I'm really enjoying that. iifym.com, it kind of runs by itself. We've got a good team behind that running it. So they've all got their pros and the cons, but I would say most of my time and energy is on JRF, my fitness business.
Would you ever, I guess it's a bit different because it's your name and things like that. Would you ever sell it if someone gave you an offer? Or is that like one of your things like, nah, that's my baby sort of thing?
I'm always open to it.
Hmm.
If I did sell it, I would have to do a rebrand and change it to something else, I would think. But then again, Jenny Craig and Weight Watchers, it was her name, it was her brand. But I'm not sure if you're familiar. Kayla Itsinas, she had her own app. She then rebranded herself and called it Sweat. And then she sold her app for, I think it was like 420 million or something like that.
Wow.
So I think if I was going to sell, I would have to do a rebrand.
Yeah.
Do I plan to sell? No, not at any time soon. I love what I do. I enjoy what I do. If I did sell, I would still be doing exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Macroactive may be a company that we would potentially sell one day.
That's pretty cool. No, it's interesting just to see the insights behind more so like your mindset as well, like where you want your kind of your personal life and obviously your business to grow, and sometimes that, but also like sometimes you're like, I don't fucking know. Like if people go, what are you doing next week? I'm like, don't really know yet. It's the same with business. You never know. Like it might skyrocket, go completely the other direction. It might go different direction, all this sort of stuff. So it's kind of sometimes like you have visions and goals and you just point and aim, and sometimes you're just like, as long as I just keep aiming in that direction where I see it, that's all that matters.
Yep. And just keep pushing forward. And that's it. Like I don't have an exit plan at JRF. I might never sell it. And let's just say I did end up selling it. I would honestly still be doing what I'm doing every single day. Even if I sold Macroactive for $1 billion, I would still be working every single day because it's what I love and what I enjoy. I almost feel like I can't switch off. And if I do switch off, I don't like it.
I'll kind of come on to that as well, kind of like the mindset behind. Honestly, I think everyone who does train, like anyone that's a fitness coach, anyone that's kind of running their own business and things like that, is pretty. I like to say broken. We're kind of broken. We're very good at helping other people, but we sometimes need to make sure we help ourselves a lot. I guess like what brings you fulfillment in your kind of day to day, if that makes sense? Like from what's like what makes you feel full?
Yep. I honestly think it comes down to self-progression in one way or another. If I'm not progressing in one way, whether it be at the gym, trying to gain more muscle, maybe trying to lose more body fat, maybe it's to do with business, growing my business, making more revenue, getting more clients, hitting a certain number of clients, whatever it is, as long as I am progressing in some way, that gives me fulfillment. If I'm not progressing and I'm going backwards, that is when I feel like I'm not fulfilled. So for me to feel fulfilled, I have to work.
Yeah.
So
No, I love it.
it makes me enjoy doing the work because the feeling I get from doing the work is rewarding enough to give me that fulfillment to be like, yeah, I'm doing it, I'm smashing it.
Mm.
Now you continue doing that because you like that feeling and you like that feeling of fulfillment.
Do you ever feel battered? Do you ever feel like you've like everyone talks about burnout, and I kind of like I disagree with the big word of it. But do you ever feel
Mm-hmm.
fatigued and you feel like obviously it's normal that it gets on top of you and stuff like that? How do you separate yourself when and do you struggle to separate yourself sometimes to like quote unquote switch off?
Yep. I'm the same as you. I don't really believe in that word burnout. Um, I think if we are truly burnt out, I would almost look at that as a good thing because I am giving it 1,000% effort. I'm doing everything I can. And if I truly feel like I'm burnt out, like blood coming out of my ears and nose, like that means I'm doing everything I can. But I think most people who think they're burnt out, they're only operating at 20% of what they really could be doing.
Mm.
It's just about getting their day with more structure and more delegation and more execution. And sometimes you feel like you might be burnt out because everything's just so overwhelming and everything, and so much things happening at once. But I think in reality, yeah, most people who claim that they're burnt out are nowhere even near the fact of being burnt out. Now, yes, you will have those days where you feel fatigued and things are hard and things are, not going to plan, and you might feel a little bit of fatigue. But I look at it as we are so blessed to be doing what we are doing. We get to travel the world. We can work from anywhere in the world as long as we have this and a Wi-Fi connection. We are so blessed to be able to be doing what we're doing. It's almost like bad to be able to feel fatigue from doing this. Like there are
Yeah.
people who are picking bricks up and carrying them on their head 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, months on months, years on end, like
Mm.
getting no pay, but just getting food to survive. Like those are the people that have the right to really complain about fatigue. So the fact that we
Yeah.
have like so much, I guess we are so blessed to be able to do what we do. We don't have a 9 to 5. We don't even have to wake up at a certain time. We don't have to be at work at a certain time. Like I am fully flexible to go anywhere in the world. If I want to go to Maldives tomorrow, I can technically go to Maldives tomorrow. So I feel like I'm blessed, and I feel like that gives me the energy to just keep doing what I'm doing, even if internally I may be feeling fatigued.
Mm. Honestly, man, honestly what you said there was the reason I started this podcast is because I selfishly wanted to learn how others felt and how they
Mm,
feel on a day to day. I couldn't give a fuck if one person listens to this, but what you just said there is sometimes I get light bulb moments, I get epiphany moments, I get ideas and things like that. And I definitely think like what you just said there is like, I feel over the last 6 months, whatever it is, I felt hungrier than ever to strive towards the next thing, sort of thing. Like what, like just to keep
yeah,
working, sort of thing. Like a lot of that has been my physical process, but also the byproduct of that has been like, oh, I'm enjoying producing content. I'm enjoying like again doing all this sort of stuff. So what you said there about, I think again, I think this kind of day and age as well, like hard work has been given this thing like, oh, you need to find this kind of balance and you need to have like and all this sort of stuff. I'm like, I agree. Like you need to like for yourself, like you need to have time with the wife and you need to go out for dinner and you need to do these sort of things. But it doesn't mean the other 10 hours of the day is just you being like, oh, I just need a bit of self-care. I'm like, no, like you generally do need to fucking work hard. Like that is just,
yeah,
and I think that's getting lost. There's a lot of this kind of balance, take time out, all this sort of stuff. So what you just said
yeah,
that was generally like, guys, if anyone wants to have five, 4 to 6 businesses and be earning multiple millions from each one of them, like you just said it, just work hard and just do it for since you were, well, obviously I'm going to relate it back since I first saw you, 8 years. Just do that for 8 years and just keep going.
Yeah. That's it. And people don't understand the amount of work they need to put in to achieve something. They think they can just do it and get results within a couple of weeks. And it's like, it doesn't work like that. It's got to be months on years, consistency over time, and then it pays off. But people just don't have that work ethic anymore to be able to put in that kind of work. And I don't know why that is, but it's getting lost.
I was going to ask you, why do you think that is? But I think it's like, because I don't know, I think it's very different if we spoke to like our parents. Like, I know my mum worked 3-4 jobs, raised 3 kids on her own, sort of thing. And I saw hard work there, but sometimes it never got, I guess, it's a very different goal. The goal is just to provide for your children and make sure they can start their life. But now I'm like, if you don't have any kids and you've got a partner or you're single, I'm like, why would you not just want to, I don't know, it just blows my mind that you wouldn't want to just work out and eat healthier and just try and work hard and trying to build a business or whatever it is. That kind of, I don't know why. I think it might be like maybe New Zealand, potentially like first world countries, right? Like probably entitlement. Like people feel like they're entitled and things like that. You're like, no, like you need to like work. Like 50 years ago, people were being shot at in the war. Like you're okay. Like start fucking working.
Yeah.
But it's
we
like
complain too easy these days.
Yeah, but you said it as well. The big one was kind of like you said it without saying it, but it was just being great, like gratitude to being like, I get to go to the Maldives tomorrow. I can go out for my dinner, like with my wife, whatever that is, whenever. And I am just grateful for this. And I think gratitude is the strongest thing that you can ever have. Being like, actually, like me and you can, fingers crossed, we can wake up tomorrow and train. That we have the ability to move our body and train. Being grateful for the little things, and then it stops you being a little bitch about the things that aren't going well.
Yeah, exactly. That's so true. Worded it perfectly there.
And then switching it, obviously, how long were you, because you were based in New Zealand for a long time, right? And it's only been recently since you made the move to Dubai and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've lived in New Zealand my whole life. I've just moved to Dubai January. So I've been here, what is it, 5 months?
Yeah. How, because I guess have you come here before? I guess you must have been back and forth here before and stuff like that. You've made trips and stuff.
Yeah, I think I've come here 3 times, 4 times if you count. One of the times I was here for like 2 days, but actual times.
What made you pick? Because obviously, I guess when you were kind of traveling and stuff like that with EHP and things like that, obviously you have New Zealand, you had the opportunity to go to Australia, potentially US and things like that. Why kind of Dubai and things like that? And like, why that shift at that time period in your life?
I do reckon I should have done it a long time ago, but no regrets. So not going to go down that path. But I think Dubai's just the best place, man. It's the place of the future. Everyone's motivated. Everyone's working hard. Everyone's trying to do better, be better, do more with their lives. And being around those type of people and that kind of energy, it's just very contagious. So by default, it makes you work harder and try and be better and try and do more. There's a lot of wealth here. So it helps you try and level up. You see what's possible. Like back in high school, I used to think, oh, if I can make 60K a year, I'm insane, But now there's guys doing like 60K days on average. So your whole mindset takes a complete shift and you see what's actually possible. And when you see what's possible, it makes you believe it's possible. Therefore, it opens up the door for you to go and achieve that because you can now see how it can be done. It's also the best place to connect with people, network with people, create content, collab. Back in New Zealand, we're so far away from everyone and everything. No one comes there. There's no reason to come there apart from if you've got like maybe a nana or something. No one comes there. So I don't get to connect or collab with anyone. But here it's also close to so many countries. So people are always coming in,
True.
which helps me meet these people, connect with these people. And it's the place of opportunity. And I think anyone that has an online business that is doing well, it makes so much sense basing yourself in Dubai.
Yeah.
It's such
How's
a beautiful place, man. It's so safe as well.
Oh, how I was gonna say, how's the missus finding it? Because obviously I know she's back and forth a little bit at the moment. How's she finding? Is she enjoying life here and things like that? Because obviously it's very. I think people think like, oh, like I get loads of like old school friends and things like that being like, oh, like can I come to Dubai? Like I'm a girl, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? How's the
Yeah.
missus finding it and things like that? That transition and stuff like that.
Yeah, she loves it. It's like she's Arab herself, so she speaks the language
Oh,
fluently.
does she?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
so
shit.
she knows more than me yeah, around here. So um she used to live in Iraq from when she was born until I think 5 or 6, and then she moved to New Zealand.
Wow. Okay.
Um, so she loves this place. She obviously is very attached to her friends and family back in New Zealand. So she does love New Zealand. She's back and forth at the moment just because I'm selling some property and some land back in New Zealand.
Hmm.
But once that's done, then she'll move here full time as well.
Nice. Amazing, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's bizarre. I didn't think like why what I guess that parents got an offer to go to New Zealand for jobs and things like that. That's how she ended up moving to New Zealand.
Yeah, and I think it was just a better opportunity for them. I think, there's a bit of war happening as well. So they escaped that, and New Zealand was the best place, to come. Um, but yeah, she speaks the language fluently. So when she is here, she can
Yeah,
speak
man.
to the other Arab people where I can't communicate with them. So she
That's
feels
crazy.
at home here.
Yeah. How are you finding this is how are you finding the difference from Marina to Blue Water as well? Because obviously if anyone doesn't know, maybe just go Google it. So you were living in the marina before, which is it's a lovely area. Like we were there for 2 years
Oh, lovely.
and things like that. It's
Yeah.
got like we were in the same building. Like we were literally in the building
Yeah.
next same building. And then obviously you've made that transition to Blue Water. How are you finding kind of the difference between the two?
Yeah. So I love the marina. The marina is so good. Like it's close to everything. Everything's convenient. Um, Such a nice, beautiful walk around there. I used to go for a walk in the mornings and the evenings. Um, it's really good, the marina, but it's hot now. I
Mm.
can't go for these walks. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna move around and just try some other areas just so I can see, some other places in Dubai and see where I like and what I don't. So Blue Water, very amazing, very beautiful as well. It's a little bit more quiet than the marina.
Mm.
Um, but it's not that bad because I'm inside most of the time now anyway, just because of the heat.
Yeah.
But I think, during, I guess, the months winter when people are outside more, I think Marina is probably one of the best places to be just because there's so much going on.
Yeah, it's nice. It's definitely, I think, like you say, from probably the October through till April, May, it's pretty good. But then I
Mm,
sometimes think that
yeah.
like Blue Water, like going over there, you're like, this is pretty stunning over here. It's nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, Blue Water, if anyone doesn't know, that's where the big wheel is. So, so you're
Yeah.
in the place with the big wheel. So that's amazing. And obviously, I think the biggest one that I want to touch on is obviously you have acquired a new housemate. You got a new little pet.
Yes.
And we're not talking
Little
about a
monkey.
dog. We're not talking about a dog. We're not talking about a cat, but you got a baby monkey.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just
I would
intrigued.
bring him
Like,
here, but her, sorry.
no, you're
I
good.
would bring her here. Oh,
Sleeping.
sorry, you go.
She's sleeping.
She's sleeping. Yeah.
How did that?
She's the
I was
best
gonna say, how did that even
ever.
happen? That's crazy.
Yeah. I've wanted a monkey since I've been 10. I've never
Really?
obviously had the chance. See, I've had many animals growing up. We've lived on a farm, like any animal you can think of. I've had a goat, ducks, chickens, rabbits, frogs, turtles, lizards, lambs, any cows, bulls, anything you can think of, I've had as a pet.
Yeah.
I've got about 100 cows at the moment back in New Zealand.
Oh wow.
They're not pets, you know. Growing up, we've had them as pets, and even little baby lambs that their mother had abandoned. We took and we look after.
Oh,
So we had to feed
yeah.
every 3 hours, even waking up in the night. So I've always been into my pets and my animals, but never had the chance to get a monkey. So I finally got the opportunity to get a monkey. And she's the best ever, man. She's so cool. She's super attached to me and my wife. Like she sees us
Yeah.
as like someone she trusts. I go for a walk down to a cafe. It just sits on my shoulder the whole time. Then when I'm at the cafe working on my laptop, it's running around on the chairs around me, jumping around. But it won't leave and it won't go anywhere because it's if I go to get up and walk away, it starts to panic and
Yeah.
like don't leave me, don't leave me. Like no, I'm not
Yeah.
going anywhere.
I think it's because obviously like yeah, it's obviously I don't know anyone with a monkey, right? So I always feel like I have so many questions. But obviously, like we know that like they're so like if you look at it in the wild, right? They're clinged on to their mothers, their whatever it was. They just and that's it, they
Yep.
hold on tight. And I think also as well, intelligence, like crazy intelligent, like
Very.
maybe not because she's young. She might get a little bit. I think I saw your
No,
story
she's
when she fell into the coffee mug or something like that.
yeah, yeah.
And I was like,
So that was her food in there. We made some cereal for her, celiac,
oh, okay,
and she falls in. I'm like, oh, don't do that again, you know. But she's got such a personality. She literally today she just learned to steal my wife's earrings. So there's these little
oh,
earrings. She
that's
steals them
dangerous.
and she runs away with it. She knows that we want it, so it takes. I'm training her to steal jewelry. It's so funny and like she knows she's up to mischief.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, and when she's tired and she just sleeps.
yeah.
She's good, man.
Do you need this is like obviously it's Dubai, so you clearly don't. But I guess like in New Zealand, if you wanted like a monkey or even in the UK, like you probably have to get a license or you'd probably I don't know, like you probably have to get permission. I don't know if you can, I don't know if you can you like
Yeah, you can't have it in like countries like New Zealand and stuff like that.
no.
Um, yeah, I think there's some pretty strict laws around that just because of the type of animal that it is.
Yeah, because I know like we were obviously same in Australia, we're thinking like transporting dogs, and it's like 6 months they have to just like sit in a kennel, like a quarantine process. And
Yeah,
you're like, what? Like it's insane.
it's
Like they go
crazy. Yeah,
so it's like I guess I think it's like anything in Dubai, I guess it's pretty straightforward, isn't it? Like everyone's just it. Everyone
yeah.
get everything here, so it's super easy. Does she get much bigger? She's like
Mm.
pretty small. Does she get any bigger than that?
Yeah, she's about this big at the moment. She'll get maybe this big, so it's
Okay.
always going to be a little monkey.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, the friendliness and the personalityness is just so cool.
Yeah.
Um, like she'll even bite my fingers like as she's playing around, and then she'll run and she'll hide,
That's
and
amazing.
I'll play hide and seek with her, and then she'll run back at me and she'll attack my fingers.
That's
That's
awesome.
so cool.
Because
Yeah.
how old is she now? I think you text me. I think like did you say 6 months or less than that? 6 weeks.
She was 8 weeks, but she's probably about 10 weeks now.
Oh wow, damn.
Yeah,
It's
maybe
nuts.
11 weeks probably now. 11 weeks. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. No, honestly, mate, I love it. Like I feel like we can just chat shit for ages, so it's cool. I know you're a very busy man and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But I guess what's next for Joseph, man? What have you got planned upcoming business, your own training? What's next on the plate for you, sort of thing?
Yeah, so the goal right now is just to continue growing, to continue gaining exposure, helping more people worldwide. The goal with Macroactive is, to help 1 million end users at some point. We've done over 700,000 currently. I eventually want to help 1 million people worldwide at JRF as well. So these are some pretty big goals, and I know I can achieve it. I've just got to figure out how I can get there, and I know I will if I keep working and I keep pushing forward.
Hmm.
So yeah, some pretty big goals, but we'll get there.
Amazing, man. And then travels, you leave Dubai for a little bit and then you're back to the end of the year. Is that just kind of just holidays? Is that just socials, families, all that sort of stuff as well?
Yeah, so I've got a bit of travel. I don't have anything planned yet. But we've got a few trips that we want to go to. Like me and my wife want to go to South Africa,
Oh, nice.
Croatia, Greece. I have to go to China at some point this year. We won a marketing award there, so we've got to go pick that up. What else? I've got
That's bizarre.
I think that
A marketing award in
yeah.
China. What is that like?
Yeah, so my
Yeah.
marketing guy who works for me. He's Chinese.
Okay.
He's amazing. He entered us into this competition. The company's called High Cool, and we won it. So we got 100 grand.
Fuck.
But yeah, yeah.
Holy shit. That's pretty good.
But for us to get it, we've got to go to China to be presented the award, which makes sense. And
That's cool. Have you ever been?
to go to China, I've never been there, but
Yeah.
I'd love to go there. So
Why
it
not?
gave me
Yeah.
the perfect reason to go.
Awesome, man. Well, there you go. Congratulations as well. Sick. No, man,
Yeah,
that's
thank
that's
you.
crazy, crazy year. So exciting. And then obviously you're back in Dubai, probably back into the year sort of thing.
Yeah, and that's when I think we'll try and find a place to settle long term.
Awesome, man. Awesome. No, honestly, I won't take up too much of your time and things like that. I know obviously Saturday busy and then probably going out with the missus later and things like that as well. But I guess a tradition I have on this podcast, it's the 1%. So what is that one piece of advice, that one thing that you can tell the listeners, tell the watchers that will help them get 1% further forward tomorrow?
Yep. The best thing that you can do to get 1% forward is to focus on consistency. And I think that's where everyone stuffs up. They are not consistent with what they do, whether it be their training, their diet, something in their business. But let's just talk about training and diet. Someone will start a transformation and they'll be like, oh, I want to reach this. 2 weeks on the diet and then they'll fall off. And I'm like, if you just locked in for 10 weeks or 12 weeks and you remain consistent and you were that 1% difference than everyone else, the other 99%, you would get the results that you want to get. Consistency is always the underlying factor to results. And if you can do that, you'll be that 1%.
And I guess that applies to everything, isn't it? It's like
Everything.
whoever can show up and throw the most punches over weeks and months and
Yep.
years will eventually win.
Yep. Exactly.
And that's
Consistency. It's the most underrated thing that gets results.
yeah. I think it was I heard
As
a
long
really
as you're consistent doing the right thing. If you're
exactly.
consistent with the wrong diet, then that's not a good thing.
Yeah. But I guess even then it's like you could probably sit and write a shit training program and you can write an amazing training program. But actually the shit training program would do better for someone if they were
If they were
consistent.
consistent.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
it does pay off. No, honestly, bud, thank you so much for your time. For anyone that wants to stalk you, find out more about kind of businesses, what you do, where's the best place to kind of find everything as well?
Yeah, so I'm pretty much on all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, you name it, I'm on there. Easiest way is just type in my name, Josef Rakich, Joseph with an F, and I should come up.
Easy. I'll attach as many things as I can find online, all Joseph's profiles and things like that. I'll put them in description, guys. Any questions on anything, shoot him a message. He's honestly the probably the most humble person as well. That I've obviously for me, it's like I looked at an idol sort of thing. I'm like, oh God, like that's him sort of thing. But honestly, and then to have you on a podcast, man, it's amazing. So thank you for just being very you. It's amazing. So really appreciate your time as well, man.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I appreciate the words. And I appreciate you having me on your podcast. So thank you very much.
Thanks, bro. It's cool. I'll catch you in the gym probably Monday morning.
Yeah, most likely.
Have a good one, bud.
Awesome, bro. You too. Cheers, Brandon.